2, 1. Pausing again for 2 counts. And then this time when you take a deep breath in for 4 counts, really breathe into the bottom of the belly, expanding the rib cage, allowing the breath to balloon the belly open. And then holding for 2. And then exhale again, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Really knitting the hips and the ribs together, squeezing the belly into the back of the spine as you exhale. And then again, take another deep breath in for 4. Noticing the expansion of the lungs, the rib cage and the belly. Holding for 2, and then exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As you slowly bring the belly closer to the spine. Pausing for 2, just noticing what it feels like to pause and have a space between the breath. Then when you're ready, we're going to start to reach the arms up and over the head, and we're just going to start to twist out, loosen up the joints a little bit. So you can interlace the fingers, stretch them up above your hand, and then you can bring a little movement into the side body here, stretching from one side, coming back to neutral, and then stretching to the other side. And then from here, we're going to really focus on lengthening the spine. So you can test yourself. You can pull your shoulders up to your ears and then roll them back down, setting them in place, keeping that line, that Uddiyana Bandha lock engaged here, which means knitting the hips to the ribs, keeping everything in place, and that creates a nice long neutral spine down the back. So when you're ready, we're just going to plant one hand on the mat and then bring that stretch a little bit deeper into the side body. And then again, bring the shoulder up to the ear, and then see what it feels like to open up the chest, lifting the face to the ceiling, then coming back over to the other side, doing the same thing, bringing the ear up to the shoulder, and then wrapping it back down the spine as you open up and twist to the ceiling. And then we're just going to try a gentle twist here, so bringing the arms up, creating as much space as you can from the tail to the crown of the head. Then we're just going to twist in that extension, bringing the left hand behind your body, pushing the floor away, using that press from behind you to really get lift and extension right from the crown to the tailbone, keeping that space between each vertebrae as you inhale deeply, and then exhale, coming back to neutral, reaching the arms up over the head, interlacing the fingers, squeezing the ceiling away, and then bring the shoulders up to the ears and then roll them back down the spine. Again, taking that twist to the other spine, not losing the integrity of that length as you twist. So you inhale, come out of the twist a little bit on the inhale, and as you exhale, deeply twist into the spine. Again, planting the right hand behind you as you push the floor away, using that extra support to really push up and out of the lower lumbar spine. Then when you're ready, coming back to neutral, and we're just going to come up onto our knees. Coming through tabletop, and then we can come into gateway. So standing on your knees, stretch one leg out to the side. I'll start with my right leg out to the side. And then when you're ready, we're just going to reach the arm up and over again, and noticing the shoulder here. We're coming into a little bit of a side body stretch in that leg. So again, notice the shoulder, reaching it up to the ears, and then wrapping it back down the spine as you open the chest. And now keeping that core engagement, so you're not allowing yourself to open up completely into a back bend just yet. You're still keeping that idea of knitting the hips to the ribs to keep that core engaged and locked. Then from here, we're just going to take that hand, the left hand, plant it onto the mat, reaching the right arm up and over. And then from here, you can lift that right leg parallel to the floor and then start to roll out the ankle a little bit here. So we roll it 3 times one way, using the inhale, 3 times the other way. And notice the stacking of the shoulders here. And then if it feels good for you, you can start to come into a back bend. So taking the right ankle in the right hand, and then start to open up the chest. Now here you can let go of that Uddiyana Bandha lock. You can squeeze into your back bend, and the back bend comes from the upper thoracic spine, not the lower lumbar, so you shouldn't be feeling any pain in the body. And then when you're ready, you can come back through gateway. Take a nice deep stretch as long as you need to create space. And you can lift up through the torso, coming back, and then we're going to take a stretch over the other side. So stretching the left arm over the head as you bend into the side body. Again, noticing your rib cage. Is the tail tucked? Is it lengthened? And are you flaring the back? And then when you're ready, we're going to take this into half split. So we're just going to turn towards the right leg to the back of the mat. And then from here, we're just going to really lengthen out through the lower lumbar spine before folding over, allowing our nose to land somewhere near our knee or our shin. And then just using the breath again, coming up and out of it as you inhale. Then as you exhale, deep, long, extended exhale. We're still really early on in the class, so it may take a while to warm up the bodies, but we're just preparing them for what's to come. Using the breath with gentle movement so we can really set up a pattern throughout our practice. And then when you're ready, you're going to bend into Andalyasana. So bend into that front leg. You can keep the knee on the mat or you can tuck the toes, lifting the knee coming into crescent, or you can keep the knee on the mat. Reach the arms up and over the head here, coming into another back bend, bending through the upper thoracic spine. Lifting, tilting the head up to the ceiling, and then bringing the arms up to the ears, perhaps coming into more of a deeper back bend. Now there's two ways to work this posture. So you can squeeze the inner thighs together, come up out of it a little bit to really activate that inner thigh, or you can use it for flexibility. So you're sinking the hips deeper into the mat. And then from here, we're just going to take it through half split just one more time. If you want to come and work a little deeper into full split, you're welcome to, depending on your level of flexibility. It may be still very early on in the class. So find your option here, coming again into your back bend, reaching the arms up, and again you can notice that engagement, so you can lift up out of your splits by engaging the inner thighs or releasing to stretch out the flexibility here. And I'm just going to add on, if you're up in your Andalyasana, you can come into crescent and then just take that back leg up to the back. I'll give you a demonstration so you can see what I mean. So from here, if you're in kneeling crescent, then you can just bend that back leg into your body here. If you can add on and you want to take it into a deeper back bend, just take one ankle and then pull the head through. And then from here, if you have your balance, it's really hard to balance. I say that and then I get it, but it is hard. So you just come into your back bend. If you have a strap, you can use a strap around your ankle and then using that to allow a little bit more range of motion here. And then when you're here, you can come into another side bend, twist side to side, really working into the flexibility of the pelvis. From here, we're going to come up and we're going to transition through forward, wide angled forward fold. So just come up, take your peace fingers around your toes, and then you start to pull the head closer to the mat, allowing it to rest, allowing it to get into the hamstrings. And so we turn our toes in so they're pigeon-toed, heels out. And then you can just take a couple of deep breaths before we go into the other side. You can come up into a halfway lift and then start to twist one arm open to the ceiling here, and then you can bind and wrap it. Reaching, releasing, coming back to neutral, extending before you twist, so you're keeping the spine nice and safe as you reach the other arm up to the ceiling. Coming in to that twist in the upper body here, taking a deep breath in, and then releasing back to the mat. There is another option here, depending on your level of practice. You can take a headstand quite safely. So you can clasp or interlace your fingers together or go into tripod headstand, and then just lift the legs, allow them to float off the mat, coming through wide straddle split. If you're jumping, you're not ready and it's not safe for the vertebrae to be jumping into headstand. And then from there you can just do your preferred headstand flow. It could be splits,
It could be coming into a little bit of a back bend, coming through, bringing the left leg in front as you swap the splits over, opening up into straddle, upside down straddle, and then if you have it in your practice, you can come into lotus or half lotus. If you're in the tripod one and you want to float down through side crow, you're welcome to do that here. If you're still in wide angled straddle, this is not exactly a beginner class, but at least you can see. You can even go and sit on the floor and just come into straddle on the floor. So you're sitting with your glutes on the mat, your legs outside, one side each way, and then you can just start to work your side splits here. When you're ready, come out of your headstand, allow the feet to plant on the mat. Slowly, slowly, slowly come out. If you were in headstand and you want to come and work into the side splits, you can come through here now. If you're still in side splits as your option, you can roll forward, coming back up, and then preparing on the other side. So from here,